Hey guys, it's Bear from the internet. I'm here with Heath from Refuge Training. I'm also here with Alejandro, aka Al, because 4 syllables is too many syllables, and Nicholas, aka Nick, because 3 syllables is too many syllables. And you guys are Refuge Training partners, correct?
That
Yes,
is
sir.
correct.
Where are you guys from?
So we are from northern Indiana. We are currently residing in central Indiana, just north of Indianapolis.
And you guys train people.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. With your blessing, sir.
Well, yeah, but not just refuge stuff, but you guys teach a lot of other stuff as well.
Right.
Yeah, so we teach anything from basic to advanced firearms. So it's pistol, rifle, shotgun. We have a lot of great training partners up there as well through different companies like the NRA. We do your basic first aid, CPR and stuff. We have been blessed with the Refuge Medical curriculum, so we get to do that as well. We kind of just do it all. Whatever people want is what we give them. We have our next class actually is a women's preparedness course with a lot of we took like a survey from people that we have got to meet in person and what their concerns are, and then thrown it into a curriculum.
That's awesome. That's a great way to develop curricula. Is like you see this all the time. It's called product market fit.
Yep.
Right. And it's like, what if, hear me out, we come up with this Nalgene bottle, but on the side of it is also a hand grenade. It's like, who's going to buy that? Al Qaeda would buy that. Nobody else is going to buy that.
Really
right?
niche group.
And
right
so
now.
then you're trying to fit your product into the market where the inverse is actually much more successful. It's like, talk to the market, ask them what they want, and then just do that. And then you look like a hero to all of your customers. It's like, what do you guys want? Bear, you should make okay. And then we make it, and they're like, oh my gosh, Bear, you're the best because you made the thing. You told me to make the thing. You're welcome. Thank you. So that's the perfect way to do that. So what are y'all's backgrounds, and how did you get into teaching people?
Sure. So I'll just go first. I went to the Marine Corps straight after high school, 5-year Marine Corps vet now. I did presidential security with very limited information on that. I got to live and work where the big guy was at. I went to the infantry afterwards, did security and did some overseas operations, you could say. I have done some things. I have been to some places. I'm no tier 1 operator, but I've gotten to work with some very cool people. The teaching aspect came from inside the Marine Corps. I started doing a little bit more extracurricular stuff, got to teach some of the junior Marines and stuff, as one does as you get into that senior rank. Once I got out and decided that the sales world was kind of a big joke, and I didn't like working for big companies, I decided to get back into something I was passionate about, and that was letting people around me feel like they were safe and then teaching other people how to do that.
That's cool.
So I got in with the security company, which I work for a company called Sod Dog Inc. My boss has been absolutely great, and he has let me and Nick here as my assistant training director develop the curriculums exactly how we want. He believes in our mission just as much as we believe in his company. So I'm really blessed to be able to do what I love to do.
SODOG.
Correct.
Right?
SODOG Inc.
Cool.
Yep. And then I come at it from a completely civilian, no training aspect of it. So you get the cool guy and the strictly civilian guy. I was a mechanical engineer by trade. I got a little piece of paper that says I can do the things. And then, but also, like a lot of people, COVID kind of opened my eyes to be more prepared. And then I was introduced to Bear through the YouTubes. And then, I kind of just went from there with firearms training and getting NRA certified. And then Al and I kind of ended up back in Indiana. And he's like, hey, man, you want to do something cool? And I was like, sure.
That's how it went down.
And then that's where we both got on board with Sod Dog Inc. And that's how we eventually started the Refuge training partner with you guys.
Doing the things with the cool people.
And now we're just keeping it moving, making sure that civilians get the training that they need to not only do the cool things, but also the not so cool things. So if you need, the famous additive, if you can plug holes or make holes, you need to plug holes.
Yeah. So Heath, you train these guys. We train these guys
yeah.
at our first train the trainer program, we're very selective about
100%.
who it is that becomes an RTP. We Refuge Training Partner. Because it's brand association, right? And like, man, you guys don't see behind the scenes how much effort it goes in, not just to maintain a company, but to grow it legally, morally, ethically,
Oh, yeah.
righteously. Like
Oh,
there
yeah.
millions of people hours have gone into this thing to get it to this point. And so you have to trust people in order to say, okay, now take my baby and run with it, right?
Yep.
So when you met Nick and Al, what was that like? And what attributes did you see in them where you're like, hey, these guys are good to go. We should definitely make them RTPs?
For me, it was the dedication. It was absolutely the dedication. You could tell that they were serious about what they did, but it was realistically the genuine nature with how they cared. They cared about the training.
Mm-hmm.
It completely reflected all the way back to every bit of what their core ethos is.
Mm-hmm.
It just shows through.
There was no, what I remember was there was no ego. There was a lot of humility.
100%, absolutely.
And whether we are training others or we are being trained by others, like ego's just got to be out of the equation,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm not going to be able to receive whatever it is that you're trying to give me if I think I already know it. I had that issue today. We took an NAEMT PHTLS class, National Association of Emergency Medical Technicians, pre-hospital trauma, life support class today. And I've got to be honest, there were a couple times in the back of the room I was just yawning going, yep, tourniquets go on limbs and stuff. We totally do that. And it's like, hey, man, stop, push it down, pay attention, interact. And so that's what I remember with these guys when we first met you. It was like, you're serious, you're dedicated, and there's no ego, just willing to learn. And then what's been really cool since then is not only have you guys performed classes on behalf of Refuge where you're teaching our curriculum, but when the company has needs, you guys are like, hey, what can we do to help? Like, what do you guys need, man? We love you guys. How can we plug in? What do you need? And part of the reason I wanted to make this video is to introduce Refuge Nation to y'all so that they get familiar seeing your faces, so that when I say we're conducting a Refuge training, you're probably going to see me there. You're probably going to see Heath there. You may see Al there. You may see Nick there. There's some other folks that you may see as well. You know, Mike, Davo, right?
Oh, yeah.
Davo has not appeared on camera yet. Davo has a very interesting background, and he's just really good at shooting people. But I want people to know who Nick and Al are, and I want people to know who Sod Dog is. And then when we have classes, Refuge training partner classes in Indiana or around there, these guys are blessed off to teach. We've taught them, we've seen them teach, we approve of them. They are of fine moral character, they're stand-up individuals. Now, I do think that there's an opportunity to provide value to the listener here above and beyond you, me, friend.
Yep.
Right.
So you guys also run a training organization. What would you say we'll go two different directions here.
Sure.
Skill set and mindset. What are the two primary deficiencies you're seeing in your students?
Oh, well, going back to what you were talking about earlier is letting go of that ego. So every time I talk to our guys or I talk to Nick about training is we love to, hey, I'm going to empty this cup. Here you go.
Yep.
Bear from the internet. Would you please fill that for me so I can take that?
Yep.
And so that's what we preach that to our guys, because every once in a while you'll have guys that come in, hey, I've already taken a firearms class here. I've already done this thing here. Do I still need to come to the training? Yes, you do.
Yep.
So there's the skill set and mindset I think there's a lot of overconfidence in the skill sets, where people think because they've done, this, that, and the other, that it changes their mindset. So in their head, hey, when stuff happens, I'm just going to be ready because I've already done this stuff. And as we all know, that's not how that works.
And how much of this is individuals not realizing that these are legitimate perishable skills?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them.
We get a lot of and I hate to say this because I'm a veteran myself, we get a lot of veterans who do that too.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, I did this, that, and the other. I went overseas here, I did this stuff. And then you put them in one stressful situation where, hey, I'm going to apply pressure to you while you do this. And then they freeze.
Yep.
And it's like, hey, man, there's no need to be embarrassed, but this is what we're trying to show you.
Yep.
And it truly happens to the best of us,
Oh, yeah.
On
Absolutely.
our public classes, it's interesting if you look at the people set, the demographics of our public classes.
Mhm.
You guys have been to several, right?
Yep.
You'll have grandma over here and Bill the engineer, and then like this guy's 87 years old and this guy's 17, and then all these different walks of life, and what even people, our Refuge alumni, are completely unaware of. So I don't know how many times we've had civilian public classes where there have been legitimate operators who are plainclothes slotted into that class. And it's like, you're sitting next to a DevGru SEAL and you don't even know it.
100%.
And you're like, well, I don't know, what do you think about the class, man?
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's like, yeah, it's a pretty good class. But they need to retrain all of that too and stay current on it. And it's like, if the pointiest point of the spear recognizes, hey man, these are perishable skills, we should all recognize that too.
Absolutely.
Especially us as trainers. You know, like the best way to learn something is to teach it, but you got to keep teaching it and stay current with whatever the newest data is.
Yeah.
So I'm asked the same question to you, Nick, and you, Heath.
Yeah.
Skill set and mindset, what do you see as the primary deficiency in students?
So I honestly see, I'm going to hit the skill side on this one. Like we touched on, like a lot of skills are perishable. You can't just like put it in the toolbox and I'll have this forever. Like what students, or what I want to preach to the listener and students, is if once you get a skill, like you mentioned, get reps and sets on it, but then also, just continue to build. Don't just, okay, I have a sub-second draw, which cool. But like, okay, go farther. I have a sub-second draw. Now hit a target like 50 yards with your pistol accurately, consistently.
Right.
Like keep pushing yourself.
Yep.
Like keep striving for excellence, because whether you know it or not, hopefully you're training with a group of brothers. If not, find a group. We're in Indianapolis. Come see us.
I was just going to say, training is a great way to find a group.
There you go.
Really is.
Because everybody at that class is probably somewhere around your geographic location. They all came from somewhere, generally local. So continue.
Yeah. But whether you know it or not, you're pushing the others around you. Like even without saying anything. I know him and I, like we pick on each other all the time, whether it's dry fire, live fire, like it's something. So keep pressing and keep getting better. Don't just, like I keep mentioning, I have a sub-second draw. Cool. Do more.
We just did a pistol class at the range, and many of the drills I demonstrated first. I was like, I'll go first. I'll show you what right looks like, right? And so we're doing the X drill. You know what the X drill is?
No.
Oh, you guys got to incorporate
Oh,
it.
it's fantastic.
It's phenomenal. All right. So we'll say where the cameras are the targets, right? You start with target and then you introduce targets.
Yeah.
Right? And so you start in the center, do this on a flat range, but where you can move. Okay. Start in the center at 10 yards and you draw and shoot one on the target. You run front right to 7 yards, shoot, back to center, shoot, front left 7 yards, shoot, back to center at 10, shoot, back left or back right 15 yards, shoot, back to center, shoot, back left 15 yards, back to center at 10, shoot, shoot. That's 10 rounds. Okay. And so we're now moving with the gun. You get your heart rate up. You got to stop, plant. And what we were emphasizing all day is your stance and your trigger press are nice to have, not need to have. What you need to have is grip and sight alignment, because when we actually have to fight and move with these guns, I'm not going to have control over what my stance looks like.
You're not going to have like the complete,
I might not even be standing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
So stance goes right out the window. And if you watch people in actual gunfights, this beautiful crisp trigger press goes away. Everybody's slapping the trigger, they're jerking the trigger. It says, if I have a good grip so I can maintain sight alignment, I can just ride recoil and hold on these targets, right? And so I'm running the X drill and I'm showing them what it looks like. And I dropped one. I was like, oh. Right? And so there were 18 students, and then from that point forward, it came shoot it clean and beat my time, right?
Yep.
And it was a blast. And now all of a sudden, we're all it's like horses all yoked up to a wagon, right? Like, you know that draft horse thing? Like one of them can pull 10,000 pounds, but two of them can pull 30,000 pounds because they keep fighting against each other. And it was awesome to watch all of our people, and they were all looking over their shoulder at me like, I got you, boss. Watch this. Yeah. And so that X drill, you should run that X drill. And then what you can do to increase complexity is don't just have one target. You call the targets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
So you can add multiple targets to it. And then at each position, when they're front right, okay, shoot that from your knee, weak hand. Okay, so now we're changing our grip, we're changing our presentation, we're changing the number of targets. So now we introduce the cerebral process to it, but it's not just run and shoot. Yep. It's also problem solving as we're going. You give them a math problem, right? 3 minus 2, 3. Okay, that's target 3. Okay, go. And so it's a blast. It's a great drill to run. But I totally saw the same thing where you get a little bit of that friendly competition going on, and everybody gets better, and it adds this element of pressure to it. It's like, well, now I got to perform.
Oh yeah, that was me the whole time. I was running the X drill, and I got up to the close left.
Yep.
And dropped the shot on that. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me! But I'm still under time, so I have to run back, and I can't just like lose myself in the moment that I lost the shot.
Yep.
So I'm like, how do I recover it? Boom. Didn't miss any after that.
Yep.
But I dropped one shot. I'm like, that's.
And now the best we can do is tie. Right?
I'm like, I didn't beat him.
What's cool is you take that stuff home too. It's not something that just like stays in the range.
Yeah.
I was calling for a completely different company, and when I tell you there's probably 40, and not to nobody's horn here, there's probably 40 people on the line, and I shot the best.
Yep.
And I am like, I think 249 out of 250. They're like, wow, that's great. I was like, you don't understand.
Yep.
You don't understand what I'm going to hear when I get home.
Yep.
He's like, wow, as soon as I walked in, so you missed one.
Yeah.
Like, well, yes, I missed one. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yep. Great, dude. Great job. Now go trash that because you still suck.
Yeah. That's exactly how it went.
So Heath, technical proficiency and mindset in students, where do you see room for improvement there?
I'd have to say mindset. The reason being is because I can teach anybody the skills.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't possess it up here, we're living in a society where the detriment is Hollywood.
Yep.
Right? You see it, whether it's law enforcement, they get shot in the arm. There's videos of that, right?
Yep.
Bending over, they're in the middle of a gunfight and they're in the middle of the street.
Yep.
On all fours. And their buddies putting a tourniquet on them.
Uh-huh.
Right? But your legs still work. You're not dead.
Yeah.
Your dominant hand still is fully functional. You're just bleeding, dude.
Yep.
Right? So it's like this mental function that is just not functioning appropriately, to where if I can coach you into getting that correct, the rest is easy.
One of my favorite students, she knows who she is. I can do hard things.
Yes.
Wilderness. First, we're teaching wilderness.
Incredible, man.
Great student. Awesome person. We're teaching wilderness. And so this is 3 days in the field, 72-hour curriculum. It was a blast. And we had several prior service members, a lot of outdoorsy types, and then a handful that had never been camping before.
Yep.
Let alone we're going to go do wilderness medicine on the side of Dudley's Mountain.
Yeah.
And this student was one of them. And we required the students to carry a 3-day operational loadout. One of the TLOs was at the end of 3 days, what did you actually use?
Yep.
And what you actually used was a small pile of gear that would have fit into a JanSport backpack. But instead, you've got a 65-pound rucksack, a 10-pound rifle, a 15-pound chest rig, and a 10-pound first aid kit that we issued to you. So you're carrying 100 pounds of shit. right?
Yeah.
And we rucked a mile and a half and gained 600 foot in elevation.
Yep.
And people were smoked.
Oh,
But I remember the student coming up the last hill going, I can do hard things. I can do hard things. And it's
Yeah.
like that mentality.
And she stopped me, and I was with her pace, the whole time.
Yep.
The whole time, just encouraging her. Hey, you've got this. You're right. I've got this. I can do hard things. Just keep pushing.
Yep. And then what happens is you're building mental proof with yourself that you can do hard things.
Yeah.
And so when the next hard thing comes up, you've got a track record of doing hard things. And you're like, oh, this is just another hard thing. I can do hard things.
Mhm.
I've seen me do hard things, right? But the brain quits. Myriad white paper data on this. The brain quits somewhere around when the body's about 50% done. It's like, I just can't go any further. It's like, actually, you can. Get out of your own head. Our brother Jody says this all the time. He goes, get out of your head. That's a bad neighborhood. Don't hang out there.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah,
That's awesome.
So good.
I love that.
Probably
just
gonna definitely
execute,
use that one.
right? Just get it. Yeah,
Yep.
take it.
Yeah.
Right? We borrowed it from Jody. But it's just execute, man. It's like, and then I'm a negatively motivated individual, so I just start doing like mental checklist. I'm like, I had food today. I got some sleep. Nobody's actually trying to kill me. Nothing's on fire. Like 10 fingers, 10 toes. Like
Great day.
this can't be that bad. You know?
Yeah.
This is what bad looks like. Come on, this is actually kind of fun. And then you get a little sadistic and twisted. It's like, how could I make this more fun? So, but yeah, I would agree with students. I think to borrow your analogy, the most important part, whether I'm the student or somebody else is the student, it's to subordinate that ego for whatever that period of time is that the block of instruction is and go, I can learn something here.
Yeah.
I've got 7 pages of notes from the PHTLS class today,
Yep.
which I'm quite capable of teaching.
Yep.
And actually the instructor came over to me and was like, man, you took a lot of notes. And I was like, well, writing it down helps me remember the stuff that even though I knew, I'm reminding myself as I'm writing it down. And by and large, Refuge has great students. We have just very
Absolutely.
high quality individuals
Absolutely.
that come to class. It's very rare that we have to bounce someone from class, but also we do. And I think that helps maintain the integrity of the class. Hey, if you don't want to be here, if you're like literally your boss says you have to come to this class and you don't want to be here,
yeah,
you just leave. The door's right there because you're robbing everybody else of the training opportunity. And then you get people like, but I have to take this class. It's mandatory. Cool. Go tell your boss you're a shitty student.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I can't do that. Well, then stop being a shitty student.
Yeah. Because it eventually it is as much as we try to just like push them off and just go like, all right, they're there. It does eventually rub off on you because you're just like, I'm putting like my heart and my soul into this, trying to make sure that you can do the things and you might be able to save, a person's life, God forbid that you don't have to, but that you're put in that situation. And a text message or TikTok is something more important than what I have to say. And that's really hard to try to eliminate that person mentally, let alone seeing it physically. So,
and it brings the whole vibe of the class down.
Yeah.
Every other student sees that and goes, oh, so we just tolerate this shit here? Okay, so I can get away with this too. It's like, no, this is unacceptable. It's why we got 3 rules. No whining, no quitting, no dying.
That's right.
You're not allowed to do any of that. Not in our class. And I'll literally write them up on the whiteboard and just, hey, before we get started, just so everybody knows, we got 3 very basic rules. You're not allowed to whine. You're not allowed to quit. And you're not allowed to die. We're not going to let you die. Nothing you're going to do today. We're going to make you uncomfortable, but we're not going to make you unsafe. You're not allowed to die. And if you try and die, Mike's going to put you back together again. Best of luck.
you're going to be
Right?
It's
But
going to be fun.
on many occasions, I'll just point to the whiteboard and be like, see rule 1, no whining. Okay? And we see it with stress inoculation is huge, right?
Oh, yeah.
We make students do the tourniquet march, which you'd think would be the baton death march, and it's not. And it's like, I do this at least monthly instructing, sometimes, twice a day for weeks on end. I still have all of my legs. You're not going to die. Get out of your own head. And then you can bring them through that. They have a little bit of overcoming, a little bit of transcendence there. And it's like, but did you die? No, you didn't die. And then we start asking them cerebral questions. Hey, how far did we move? Oh, we must have moved a mile. Nope. How far did we move? 100 yards. Okay, how far is 100 yards? I don't actually know. Okay, we moved about 300 meters. Why do we move 300 meters? Okay, one key terrain feature. What's the effective range of 5.56? Depends on who's shooting. And then now we got them talking and thinking, and all of a sudden they forget that they've got a tourniquet on their leg and they just moved 300 meters. It's like, this actually isn't that bad, right? But when you're hyper fixated on that stimulus, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to you, and I'm a jerk for making you do it. And it's like, in real life, we need to not even think about this.
Yeah.
There needs to be a non-factor. I need to be able to throw an owl on my shoulder and run 300 meters with a tourniquet on my leg without even thinking about it. And so that's, at least for us, that, tourniquet march is where we begin to get ideological buy-in from students. It's like, hey, I'm not going to hurt you, but I am going to make you do uncomfortable things, because in real life, it's going to be uncomfortable.
Yep.
And we've had many students who have gone on from Refuge to go on and intervene for the preservation of life in the real world, who have written in and said, you know what, the real thing actually wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It was way easier than training. Yes, that's what we want.
I mean, we did our job.
Yep. That's called stress inoculation. So when you don't freak out at the real thing, you're like, I got this. So, sorry, I'm running my mouth again.
No,
all good.
So to say, the stress inoculation for us, just seeing it done when we did train the trainer initially was something I wanted to incorporate, and then being able to do it with you guys made me, one, the format you guys use is fantastic.
Thank you.
So being able to take that and be like, oh, now I have exactly what I need to incorporate this to my armed security training, my unarmed security training, where we take little pieces of your guys' course and the little pieces of our, what we want, and now we throw it together and it's like, wow, this is actually great. And then you watch guys excel, or you watch them freak out, and you're like, perfect. This is exactly what this is supposed to do.
Yep.
So the stress.
That's something I can teach off of.
Yeah.
Because I've found your point of failure.
Yep.
Which is a platform that we can grow from.
Yep. It's a great word.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how do people get a hold of Sod Dog Inc.? Where do they go? What do they do?
You can visit Sodog, SODOG.us.com, or you can send me an email, and it'd be alejandro.flores@sodog.us.com.
Bro, you got to get Al at Sod Dog.
I
That's way too
understand.
many syllables.
There'll be some kind of spelling or something somewhere for those who can't do it, but
You get a
the best
Gmail
way.
alias, that's what it is.
Oh.
Gmail
alias. Yeah.
alias, it's an alias for you.
Yeah.
Al@sodog.com. It forwards to alejandro.flores@sodog.us.com.
You asked me the questions.
Yeah,
I gave the answer.
a little bit of business advice. That's
We'll
all.
put the contact information in the description
Yeah.
below.
What you do is you get a carrier pigeon. You write Al's name on his foot, and
He'll find them. He'll find them.
Yeah, we'll get it.
And make sure you're checking out refugemedical.com, because when we list our TP classes, Refuge Training Partner classes, these are the types of individuals that we are listing these classes with, because we know them, we trust them, we think the world of them. They are an integral part of Refuge. They're not at the office every day. They're not necessarily traveling the road with us all the time, but they're out there representing Refuge, carrying on this ethos of preservation of life. And I genuinely appreciate you guys are there when we need you. So
Of course.
Absolutely.
about once a week, you guys call the store and it's like, hey, what do you need from us? How can we help? What's going on? I'm like, oof. As a founder owner, that's like super touching to me. So thank you. And also shout out to all of our other wonderful Refuge training partners out there.
Absolutely.
Next time we have some RTPs in town, we need to do this again with some of our other RTPs so people can see the faces and get to know them, because there's a lot of really good people that are out there teaching for the preservation of life. And it's super cool for me, man, because tomorrow, as of the time of this recording, is our 5-year birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, we've come a long way in 5 years. I still need to bulldoze my barn. And we're actively looking for a 20 to 30,000 square foot building right now to move into. It's like move or build. I don't really have that sorted yet.
Well,
It's
shouldn't
like,
that get like a historical landmark at this point?
probably.
like just like
I am unapologetically trying to take over Spiro, Oklahoma. They know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. It's just when you come to Spiro, it's like you fly into Refuge Airport and like
Yeah.
you're here now.
Atlantic strip
You're
in the back there.
just
Yeah.
here now, right? Dudley will pick you up on one of the little tiny buses, drive you to the HQ. But yeah, if there's anything we can do to help you guys and girls out there, visit refugemedical.com. Use the chat, send us an email, call the store. Real people answer all of that. We don't use robots and AI. And if there's anything we can do for you, any way we can serve you, just reach out and let us know. Thank you, Al. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Heath. Thank you, Dudley, for making this happen on short notice. In the comments down below, hit me with your questions. What questions do you have about Train the Trainer, Refuge Training Partner, classes in general? However we can serve you, we're here to help. We'll see you when we see you.